Greetings warriors and welcome back to the Fit2Fire YouTube. I appreciate you guys checking me out and continue to stay tuned in. Today I wanted to go over one of my favorite guns, my Sig Sauer P365 X-Macro. This is what I carry every single day, 24/7 pretty much, 365. Funny pun intended. At any rate, let's dive into it. I got some sponsors involved in this and I do want to thank them through the process. They did not support the show. They are not even aware this is happening yet, but they did get involved in this project so that I can take this around to training throughout the country and show retired and active duty police officers what the capability of an actual EDC can be. Some of these guys can only carry a sidearm on this gig that they're doing. So I wanted to show max capacity, shoot as flat and accuracy as possible to lower the liability rate, obviously, and to make it as concealable as possible. So let's go over it. First person that got involved in this was gunfoam.com. They made this case for us, and I really want to show you guys how cool it is. It's specific to the weapon system because, as you'll see, it's completely rebuilt. There's nothing stock left on this gun made by Sig Sauer. The only thing left over is the actual trigger control module. It's a serialized item that houses the trigger. The trigger itself has even changed out, as you'll see. We'll go over it in a minute, but gunfoam.com, can't say more about them. This is their actual case, and this is the work that they do. Let's take a look. Here is the presentation. Then it ended up with, couldn't be more pleased. The colors match the mags, the cutouts for the fingers so you can grab them. So we'll go over the mags first. Tyrant CNC makes these mag bases for the X-Macro. This is the standard 17 rounder. What I really like, hopefully you can see, we'll get some more video popped in here, is these chevrons at the bottom. Why do we number our magazines, right? One, so we can remember placement, but two, if you have a malfunction with the magazine, you want to remember which one it was, and that you can go back later and either clean it, diagnose, fix a malfunction. Maybe it's a spring, maybe it needs to be fixed, or just rotate it out. So you can actually color in one of these chevrons in the place that the number will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's up to 6 magazines. Not many people carry more than 6 on the range to train with. So this is their standard base. Goes in here nicely. We'll go over the gun, but secondly, this is a second one from Tyrant CNC. This is their extended magazine base. So I get an extra 3 rounds out of that. So instead of being a 17 round gun that I can carry every day, or these guys can carry on duty protecting resources and personnel and property, this is 20 rounds plus one of the tubes. So it's 21 rounds you carry in your body. And as you can see behind me, I've got a Shadow Systems, basically a Glock 19. That thing's a much longer weapon system and it carries 15 rounds. Now I have 21 in my everyday carry. So that's a nice feature on this thing. Let's go over my version of the Sig Sauer X-Macro. The first thing you'll notice that is completely different is going to be the grip module. Grip module consists of everything underneath the slide that houses the grip, the trigger housing, etc., the rail. Icarus Precision actually makes this one. When I put it in my hand, it just felt ergonomically really good. The stippling from the factory is very rough. It's not too coarse, but it provides extra grip, especially if you're sweating like out here in Texas, or if it's raining, or if it's cold. So I really like that. There was 2 versions. There's a metal version and a polymer version. I chose the polymer version for a very good reason. 1, it's light. 2, it's cheaper. It's got $200 cheaper average. But 3, when you put the metal pins in with the metal slide, with the metal grip, it's a little loose. It's 3 different metals trying to marry together. Whereas the polymer was a little bit tighter and it doesn't shake, doesn't make any noises. So I enjoyed that. That's the first thing that I changed on this gun. Second thing I changed was Tyrant CNC again. I had a little bit of red accent, is their trigger. So Sig has a very smooth trigger, and I like the trigger. I really enjoyed the trigger press as far as how crisp it breaks and how smooth it was. However, it's very angular, meaning the original angle was more like this. And it was quite a long trigger travel. Plus, I like the added little safety, so I changed this Tyrant CNC. The smooth trigger from the trigger control module is still there and existent. The crisp trigger break is still there. However, the trigger travel, is very greatly reduced. So That's the second thing. If somebody asked me what the first thing they should do to their Sig, I would tell them to change that trigger. Now, do I change the triggers on all my guns? No, some are pretty good. I don't mind the shadow system. I probably will change that to a Tyrant CNC in the future, but I'm prioritizing this first. Obviously, it protects my life. Secondly, lights. There's a lot of go-betweens on lights. So some people are Streamlight fans. Some people are Surefire fans. Some people like Holosun. Some people like, you name it, Inforce. This is one of the few that works on this rail for this size weapon. It's the TLR 7 Sub made by Streamlight. It's not particularly bright, but it does works nice with the holsters, etc. Then what I did from there is I added this gas pedal, they call, or somewhere for you to put your thumb to put some slight downward pressure as you fire to help mitigate recoil. That actually screws right to the Streamlight so that when you actuate it, this gun is completely clear. When you actuate it, you'll see that it does not move with the slide. It's free roaming. So that was a nice addition. However, when you do that, it's hard to find holsters for it because obviously this protrudes. So on the same website, tacticaldevelopment.com, I'm not associated with them. They did not pay for any of this stuff or provide it for me. They had to have this holster cut with this channel in it. So that when you do holster the weapon, that channel provides space for that gas pedal or that brake. Okay, so that turned out pretty nice. Let's move on a little bit to my other favorite pieces. I wanted to add some little accents or some cool things. I didn't like the magazine release. So Tyrant CNC makes this mag release here that's a little bit taller. It's got a nice angle to it. It's got a couple of nice little cuts in it, some angular cuts that do get my finger pretty well. A little bit of accent. The backing plate here, Tyrant CNC, I went with red. I'm not a big color person, but I like some accent. I thought it would be neat, so I went red. My wife has gold. So Tyrant CNC did that. The slide catch slide release here, Tyrant CNC did that. You can see the lines kind of match, which I thought was pretty cool. I do have the takedown lever made by them. I have not installed yet. It's kind of similar, has the same cuts. That way it'll be all complete. Maybe I'll show you that at a later date. Next on the gun, I got with Radian Weapons, who makes what they call the Ramjet Afterburner. That is this compensated piece added to the barrel. Now, what does that do in layman's terms? When you fire a gun, there's a big flame that comes out the front. All that exhaust and that flame pushes that muzzle upward, right? Less accuracy, more recoil. Some of it disperses through this compensator upward, which flattens the gun back out. So instead of shooting like this, it shoots more like that. So you can put a lot faster rounds, a lot more accurate downrange, as well as be more controlled. So they sent me out that. They did give me that as a gift to test, and I do greatly appreciate that because that was phenomenal. Their website boasted up to 40% recoil reduction. I would have to say, after shooting this and putting it in the hands of a lot of other people in the industry, that they're right. So it makes that a lot more controllable, a lot more accuracy, a lot less errant rounds. So if you're using it in a duty capacity, that liability of errant rounds is huge, right? So especially in active shooter mitigation, which is what I have been teaching for the last few years. So that was nice. However, it does lengthen the overall length of the gun. So my regular slide for the X-Macro would not work because this compensator would be way out here, and I didn't want that for concealment purposes. So we had to get a 365, which is a smaller version of this gun, size slide, so that it would all fit on that lower nicely as it did before. The other thing I like about having a small slide is it's less material, so it will actuate and go back in a battery much quicker, which gives you a little bit less snap to it and a little bit quicker on your second and follow-up and second, third, and fourth follow-up rounds, we call them, right? So I did enjoy that. But I wanted to spruce up a little bit. Norsso got involved and gave us a great deal on this slide. I believe this is called their Reptile. So you'll see some more cuts, recesses, some really, really great deep grooves so I can do chamber checks on it. I really like that. Even the grooves on the top and the side for actually racking the gun are much nicer. So The accuracy of that barrel and the consistency in the compensator makes this gun shoot not only extremely accurate, but extremely flat, much less recoil, much easier to control. I give a lot of beginners in my class this gun to show them that their grip, stance, side alignment, side picture, trigger press are really, really good. They just have a weapon that's not as good. So they can see the potential out there. Norsso did install these suppressor level sights prior to. They actually cut the optics for what we're going to go into next for an RMR CC, which is a Trijicon compact version of the old RMR2 that I have on my shadow systems back here. So it's a smaller version of that. So I like the fact that they cut it for that optic specifically because it's direct drive. I have a lot less moving parts that can come loose or have problems. Not to mention that cut is pretty low and you want your sight as close to the barrel line as possible so you can maintain accuracy multiple distances. I really did like that. Now, thank you so much to Trijicon. I deeply appreciate it, and I'm hopefully gonna get this video out to them. They provided this RMR CC for this project, traveling around showing folks. They also provided the SRO for my staccato. I wanted to show two versions, the most capable duty / competition gun out there, and also the best EDC I could possibly build. And in my opinion out there, other than maybe some really custom trick stuff, plug and play parts, this has created the best, flattest, highest capacity, most concealable EDC gun that you can possibly find. That's my personal opinion. Most have shot it, have all agreed. You'd probably have to shoot it and see for yourself. We'll probably add some shooting on this video later or do a shooting day video separately. I just wanted to take the time to go over, God, what a great project this was, how much we appreciate those who got involved in it, and the results. I believe that when people ask me what kind of gun should you get, like our last video was, a big component of that is realize if you're going to carry this every day concealed and you're going to trust your life to this, is there really a dollar amount that you can place on that? I think not. I think that if you had to spend $5,000 on the best gun because you may have to use it to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, I think there's no dollar amount in the world that would reach a limit for me. I think it's phenomenal. Thank you so much, guys, for gunfoam.com for the presentation of the case. Trijicon, Norsso, Radian Weapons, Icarus, Tactical Development, Tyrant CNC was a big part. I really want to say thanks to those guys for making this and kind of helping me travel, show all these retired and active police officers I train, hey, look what's out there. A lot of these guys, they just have their old M&P shield or Beretta that they carry and they toss on the counter at night and they go to work and that's about it, and they shoot it every once in a while. I wanted to show them what's out there. Some of these guys don't have social media, some of them don't go to SHOT Show like I'm able to do, and I wanted to bring something around to say, hey, listen, you may want to go this nuts, but there are a few parts that you can definitely benefit from on your regular gun, okay? So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. We'll get some video up of shooting this soon, and I appreciate you all tuning in. Take care.